What's poppin', party people? It's your boy, Tasty Pancake. Um, it's again a bit of a different video today. I decided to try something new. Um, Recently, I've been feeling pretty stressed out over things and pretty down, you know. Um, I'm pretty sure other people are feeling this way, especially since school started and everybody's getting used to, getting back into the swing of things and having to deal with schoolwork and stuff. And I kind of wanted to make this video just to kind of talk for a little bit, and hopefully, if this does well enough, it'll be a series. I don't know what I'll call it yet. You know, just chatting is kind of taken already, so I can't name it that. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna start a new series where I just kind of talk about things, life or my opinions on certain stuff. I don't know. For the most part, I'm going to try and keep editing out of these videos. I want them to be genuine, And yeah, really, this is going to be just a whatever the hell I want to do type series. And if you don't like it, you can always just click off, and there's probably another weird video that I posted. So yeah, and let's see. I didn't really prepare. I just kind of thought about doing this while I was in the bathroom, and I was like, yeah, you know what? You know what people really want to hear is the opinions of a 10th grade teenager and damn, I forgot what I was going to say. It's going to happen a lot. Let's see. What do I have? Later down the line, I'll probably get better microphones and stuff, so the ASMR portion of this will get better and better. But for the most part, no, not the most part. That's not the right word. But for now, I'm gonna be using this mic I got for my birthday, which was like it was like a couple weeks ago. I can't remember. Yeah, maybe I was looking around for videos to like fall asleep to, and I couldn't really find any like good videos. Like, yeah, there's those ASMR ones, but they're not really. They're just kind of people tapping on things and whispering weird stuff, and I don't really think that was that good to fall asleep to. It wasn't relaxing like that. And I saw Markiplier did like a good video that I like to fall asleep to. Is called Pain, and it's like a 30-minute long video of him just kind of talking about stuff, and well about pain, obviously. And it kind of bugs me that there's not too many other videos out there that are like that. So I thought, why not make my own series of videos exactly like that. And to be honest, you don't really need to pay attention to the things I'm saying. You just listen while you go to sleep or something. But if you do, pay attention to the weird crap that I'm about to say. We're in for a ride. Or, wait, damn it. Yeah, hopefully I'll get better at doing this in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna fuck up my sentences a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna mess up a lot. Trust me, I'm not good at talking. But let's see, what can we talk about? Um, you know what? Let's talk about school. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those of you who are in school don't want to hear about school anymore, especially since as of recording this, it's a Friday, so this will probably be up the same day, and it's going to be the weekend. So yeah, it's kind of bringing down the vibe a little bit, but I kind of want to talk about things. I don't know how it is with with other schools. I mean, I have a friend who lives in the UK, and she says that apparently they're just gonna go back in person on the 9th, which is kind of scary. But for my school, is just purely online until I think October, and so we've been doing Google Meets and stuff like that, and I have to say it is truly deeply like draining, because Google Meets, it's not the same as it's like a real classroom. It's not nowhere near the same. In fact, I go out and say that those Google Meets are basically a waste of time. And so I was sitting in one for about 45 minutes, and the entire time it was just this teacher teaching us how to use Google Classroom. And it was the most dull experience that I have ever had, And like she would get technical difficulties like all the time. There was like 5 whole minutes where she didn't know how to play a video, and apparently it's because for some weird reason Google Meets doesn't work if you have earbuds plugged in. But we had to sit through 5 minutes of her trying to figure it out. And this isn't really an attack on the teachers. I know they're doing their best, and hell, my mom's a teacher, so I can't really make fun of any of them, but for the most part, I just think that it's kind of stupid, the online classroom thing. Because when all of this stuff first happened, I don't know if I can still say the name of, the disease. So I'll call it the stank. Yeah, the stank. So when the stank, first started, our school was online for like the last couple months, and the way it worked was it was far more casual. Excuse me. So there would be Google Meets like now, but it was always like optional. Like you didn't have to join the Google Meet for attendance or anything. You just had to turn in the assignment, and then they would count you present or absent depending on what, if you turned the assignment in or not. But and then the way they would do it is there would be Google Meets, but you would join it, and it would just be like to ask any questions or if you need any help, basically like online tutoring. And for some reason, apparently parents complained or something, and the district decided to mandate that we need to attend these Google meetings now for attendance purposes, and we have to be in there the entire 45 minutes. And it is the biggest pain in my existence, and I, it's just a waste of time, because these teachers are just talking for 45 minutes trying to explain this assignment when they could literally just make a Google Classroom post explaining the assignment in 5 minutes. And then you just do the work, and then you finish it, and you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. And if anything, that's probably better, because now what's happening is that these teachers are not only assigning daily work for attendance, but they're also assigning homework. So we can't do the daily work because they're too busy talking all the time. So then instead of having just one assignment, which is the homework, you have 2 assignments every class. And it gets overwhelming. Today I had 8 assignments due on the same day, and I had to go through all of them and do them all. And it wasn't really that difficult for the most part. These teachers kind of like don't care in the sense of like they couldn't be bothered with this. They hate the Google Meets as much as we do. So they just give you some like Slack work that you just look up the answers, and it's clearly there. And so I guess I can't really be too mad about this, but it does get overwhelming sometimes. And hell, in fact, I think I have a couple assignments due. I have some group project, but I I have no idea what's supposed to be going on, because now what I've started doing is just muting the Google Meets and just doing my own thing. I'm a lot of time just catching up on work, because I spent like the whole week just slacking off. So these past couple days have been like a panic. And so yeah, for the most part, I've just kind of muted Google Meets, and so I have literally no idea what's going on in one of my classes, and it's actually kind of funny. Another class I haven't been to since like Monday. It's yeah, I mean, yeah. So overall, I just kind of feel like online classes are worthless and kind of a waste of time, and I'm actually very excited to go back to school. I never thought I'd say that, but I actually want to go back, And I used to shit on school a lot. I used to complain and just talk so much trash about school. Hell, I'm doing it right now. But honestly, school's actually kind of cool sometimes. And I just said something controversial. And oh, now I just contradicted the past whatever time that I spent ranting about online school. But in-person school is actually kind of cool. Especially high school, because when you get to high school, most of the teachers kind of don't really care that much, and it's in the sense of like they want to do their job, but they're not strict. And slowly the classes have become less like, oh, the teacher is just a mean horrible person, and more like the worst teacher you could have is a teacher that kind of treats you like you're a kid, you know? So, like, you don't get those asshole teachers anymore. You just kind of get those teachers that are a little too strict with the rules because they take it too seriously. Like, last year, I remember, because our school has like a ban on hats and stuff, and there was always that one teacher that would like get really mad if you had a hat on, and she was like always on your ass about that. And It's just, it's like those are little baby problems, It's nothing like. I remember I had in sixth grade, I think I had a band teacher. She was the worst person ever. She was a pathological liar. She was fucking just insane, basically. Like, she, I think she's like basically Kanye West. She really thought that she was like a genius, like a musical genius, and she like would brag all the time about things that didn't happen. Like, she claimed to have apparently have performed for Barack Obama when he was the president, and she has no proof of that happening. And her like history just man, yeah, like her track history just leads me to believe that she was probably lying about that too. And since I was in sixth grade at the time, I didn't really know the full extent of like how bad this teacher was, but I remember she was really, really, really intense. Like, she'd fucking shit on you if you were bad. Like, and it's not like, oh, you're being too weak. No, like, she'd rip into you if you were bad. Like, I remember, I think I can't really remember because sixth grade was like a blur for me, but I think one time the teacher like told a kid to just quit because he was that terrible at band, and he actually wasn't. He was a kid that really, really liked band, and maybe she crushed his dreams. And she was just getting insane, man. Like, she gave us like reports to do where you had to practice for at least 2 hours a day, I think, and your parents had to sign it off, and you had to like give it to her at the end of the week, I think. And like, that was a big part of your grade. And I remember my mom got so fed up with it one time because the teacher gave it to us on Thanksgiving break, and she still wanted us to practice. My mom just signed off on all of it. It's like, you don't have to do it. It's Thanksgiving break. What are you, out of your mind? And um, I'm sorry, I'm being like really vague, and it kind of probably sounds like I'm complaining about nothing. Trust me, this teacher was horrible, and I just can't think of any good examples because I do not remember sixth grade. Hell, I can barely remember last year, and I barely remember yesterday. So, you know, I eventually I got really fed up with band, and I kept asking to quit, but my mom was like, "Nah, you just wait till the end of the semester because it's easier, you know." And then one day, because my mom used to work at the same school that, well, no, she still does, but I don't go to that school anymore. She would work at the elementary school I used to go to, and she was going out doing something, and she ran into the band teacher, or I think, or maybe the band teacher approached her. I believe it was my mom was doing something, and the band teacher like saw her and approached her, and apparently just like told her just horrific shit about me, like just lies. And my mom never got into like what the teacher said because it was probably really bad. Maybe I could ask, and yeah, so, since I'm if it's really bad, I'm most likely old enough to handle it. So I don't know what it was, but it got my mom pissed, and she reported it to the principal, and then she got me. Like, this was really difficult to do because it was November, so you can't really change schedules in November because you still got like it's just the semester was going to end in like a month anyway, and now they wouldn't, most likely they would just be like, well, just wait another month, and don't just suck it up for like a month, and then after that maybe we'll think about changing your schedule. Because on top of that too, my elementary school didn't really do stuff like that. It was either you go to band, orchestra, or you go to tutoring. Like, that was it. And my mom managed to get them to like back off, and to take me out of that class. I don't know how she did it, but it was, yeah. So I managed to spend the majority of December and the entire second semester in tutoring. It wasn't really tutoring, to be honest. It was, they called it art class because we do like arts and crafts every once in a while, but for the most part it was just kind of like get on your computer and like do whatever quote unquote schoolwork. um but it didn't really, like, it wasn't that bad, to be honest, and it was just kind of a free period. And I have really good memories of that December in particular, because um I'll talk about it right now, but yeah, I should probably close the book on the teacher. So this teacher, she after I left, I started other people started leaving as well. I had a my best friend. He didn't last too much longer after that. I think he quit like in middle of February, or possibly even before that, to be honest. And it's mostly because after I left, um, the teacher kind of like ran out of oh damn, sorry, I just got a text that was loud. Sorry about that. But um, yeah, the teacher was like she ran out of or she didn't have a punching bag anymore, so I guess she started bullying my best friend or whatever, and she started like clamping down on other people, and slowly a bunch of people started leaving. And I remember my best friend was like one of the first people to leave. And then after that, just a bunch of like people just started leaving because having the same complaints. Like, she was just a bitch, right? And then she got removed from the school. I can't remember why, but I think it's because she like backtalked one of the principals or something. She was like problematic, and they removed her from the school. And so we had like a sub for a little bit, or, well, I don't know, because I was out of the class, so I kind of just noticed that she wasn't there anymore. But apparently she got removed from the school, and after that, she she got fired from the district. And I don't know exactly why, because when you're in elementary school, most of it is just rumors, because not a lot of people really have like social media or anything, so they can't really like I guess spread information as fast. So it's just kind of rumors from like the one kid that has the phone and stuff. Well, at least that's how my school was. It was like the one kid that had Instagram and like heard something from the one other kid from the other school, And allegedly, this teacher threw a chair in class and got fired because of it. Like, cause you can't just be throwing chairs in class. She like was having a really big freak out, and she flipping just lost it on everyone, and at that class I think. And I mean, it was the final straw. She had been getting complaints. My mom was one of those that complained, and then my best friends would also complained and all this. Oh, excuse me. Like she, and I kind of believe that she would get that mad because she would have full on freakouts at us for like being really loud or being like problematic. Like, I mean, we're kids, so I don't really like. We were like what, like 12, so I don't really see why she was that mad over it. But you know, yeah, it was. She got. She would have like huge freakouts, and she would like scream. She would like get really mad over the littlest things. So I kind of would believe it if she did really throw a chair. Um, yeah, that's that's my that's it for my tangent about my band teacher. I really don't care. I don't really hate this person for it. In fact, I have pretty good memories of not of band, but like a good takeaway from it. Because after I left, I was in, like I said, I was in quote unquote art class, and we had I was like, the school had like a talent show kind of, but it was like winter themed and stuff. So it was just kind of like a talent show for the middle of the year. And I think sixth grade. Yeah, I was in sixth grade. So yeah, we were in charge of like props and decorations and stuff. So for like a month, maybe like 3 weeks, maybe around a month. Yeah, up until like I think every single day we were working on these like flowers, the that were like gonna be hung up on the like curtains or the wall, because the way my school talent show was, or the way my school stage was that there was like a big curtain in the back of the theater, and like we were gonna be making flowers that would like be kind of stapled onto the curtains. And they were actually like pretty complicated to make because there were three parts. It was like the leaf, and then there was the petal, and then there was like the inner petal, which was like, damn it, I didn't want to have to edit this, but apparently I'm gonna have to. And so yeah, there was like a petal, and there was the leaf, which was like green, and then you would have to like get like green construction paper. It was like these really big pieces of construction paper, and you kind of like cut it in like a specific shape. There was a way to do it. Like the teachers taught us like a specific way to do things, that to make it really easy and like really like, yeah, just like really easy to like mass produce everything. And so yeah, it was like the petals, and then, or well, no, that was the leaves, which are like green, and then you would they would like be glued onto like these petals, which were like yellow, and they were like in a star shape and stuff. And then after that, there was like a little red thing, that like a little red uh paper that you would like glue onto it too. It's like a third layer, I guess. I genuinely don't remember what they look like. I just kind of remember the general like color scheme and stuff. But it was actually really fun making those. Like, for a whole month, we were just like horsing around, kind of just making things, or making the flowers and stuff. And it was cool because I don't want to be that kid that's like, oh well, I'm so great and amazing. But the first day was like atrocious. It was like horrible. There one flower got made, and it was like that rejected, like awful looking piece of just mutant thing that like if you were to hang it up, it was just clear that that people just didn't care, and it's just awful. And it was the only one that we made in a whole day. And the next day, um, damn, it sounds really, really like narcissistic to say this, but I basically like took charge of it, and it wasn't like I became like a dictator or anything, but I kind of just went like I remember just telling kids like, hey, yo, you're in charge of this. Hey, you're in charge of that. You do that and stuff. And like I didn't boss people around. I just kind of like didn't want. We had a deadline. Like we needed to make a certain amount of pedals by this day, and it was like kind of stressful because like they actually really needed these decorations, right? And like if we fucked up, like everybody would like there would be like one pedal or one flower, and it's all like glued and this monster looking thing. And I didn't want to I didn't want to like get anybody mad because I used to be like a goody two shoes kid. So I started like advising people. I was like, hey, yo, can you guys like actually work, and stuff. And then since I was the only one that like really paid attention when the teachers were like teaching us how to make the pedals and stuff, people would like come up to me and like ask me things, and like, hey, yo, how do I do this? And I would like help. So I started off making the pedals, I think, and then um I kind of like ended up just working on everything, because the way the way I organized it was there was like groups in charge of everything. There was like one group that was in charge of making the leaves, and the other the pedals, and you get the point. And there was like another group that was like in charge of like making the whole flower, and that was probably the one that I was like the most involved with, because that was like the hardest one to do, you know but I would mostly just kind of go around and like help everybody and make sure everything was on track. And it sounds really stupid to just like say this. I was in charge of making decorations for a sixth grade play, but yeah, it was actually probably the most fun I've had, or that I had that year. Um, I I had one of my friends helped me too. He was like my second in command, and he would like go around and also do the same thing and stuff. And after school ended, because it was the last period of the day, that after school ended, we'd stay behind and like count everything and make sure we were like on track to finish the to get everything done, right? And I just like have really fond memories of it. And yes, it was just really cool. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's like I ate like 20 minutes before this, and and yeah, I get burpy after I eat. Is that even a word? Is burpee a word? I don't know, but so yeah, then yeah, it was just a all around cool experience. And I know it sounds like stupid saying it like out loud. It's like, oh, you that was the best part of your school year was helping people make decorations for a school play. It's like, yeah, it was like one of those, like, you have to be there. You had to have been there. It's like those things that you wouldn't really care if you were a part of, but you're glad that you were, because it's otherwise it's too stupid to really be a part of. It's like, I think there's a quote from The Office that best quotes it, or that best explains what I'm trying to say. Like where Jim, I think, yeah, it was Jim, and he says something about how like there's a lot of things that you need to see or be a part of, like that one when it happens, like watching 9/11, or watching Michael Jackson's funeral, or things that like you need to see right then and there, because you're never going to see it, and you're never going to care that you didn't see it. It's like one of those experiences. It was kind of like like one of those things where you're just glad to have been a part of it, but if you weren't a part of it, it didn't really matter anyway. It was just good to good to have exist. And man, I said pedal a lot, didn't I? I kind of noticed that. I said pedal, and yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of just talking, I guess. That's the whole point of this video. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Maybe I might cut it down, but to be honest, I feel like going to sleep videos should be at least an hour long, because I don't know about you guys, but it takes me a while to go to sleep. And, you know, I guess, oh, I think this would be a cool place to like kind of talk about my opinions in like a more kind of like relaxed manner. Um, just talk about things and like a non, uh, like an, damn, I'm blinking out here. Oh, so there's this cool thing that I know that I don't know if other people know about this too, but there's like this scientific reason why people hate their own voice. And so I just um I found it pretty cool, because I don't know about you guys, but like I hate hearing the sound of my own voice, especially when I sing. I hate hearing myself sing. And there's a lot of other people that are like that. Like, my friend from my friend from the UK, who I'm probably going to be bringing up a lot. Um she says that she like despises her voice, and stuff. So it's like a lot of people don't like their voice, and there's actually a reason why. It's because um when you actually talk, like the way you hear your voice is through two different ways. Like your ear picks up what your mouth is saying, and that's one way of hearing. But you're also hearing your voice from the vibrations of your vocal cords. So those those two working in conjunction with each other makes your voice kind of sound deeper than what it actually is. So when you hear your voice being played in like recordings and stuff, you hear your voice from just your ear. You don't have like the vibrations in your vocal cords to make your voice sound deeper. So it makes your voice actually kind of sound different. And that's kind of why you're like your voice in your head sounds different than the voice that comes out of your body. So, and it also kind of explains why like people would like you hate your own voice, but nobody else cares because that's what they're used to listening to, but you're not, because you have a pre-existing idea of what your voice sounds like. And, you know I just found that pretty cool. There's actually some cool things that the mind is capable of. Actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but there's this thing called phantom limb syndrome, and it's actually pretty interesting, to be honest. It's basically it's like this disability. Well, not a disability, but kind of like an abnormality that your mind creates, and it's mostly in amputees. Yeah, it's in like amputees and yeah, just amputees, I guess. Just anybody who lost a limb in some like surgery, or maybe war veterans in combat and stuff. There's this thing called phantom limb syndrome, and basically it's like your mind creates almost like you lost your arm, but your mind plays a trick on you, and it kind of feels like your arm is still there even though it's not. So it's a phantom limb. And apparently it comes from like this. the way like the mind is wired and stuff. Your mind kind of has like a mental map of your body and its sensations, because like your brain is a series of neurons connected to each other, right? So there's certain parts of the brain that are in charge of like certain nerves in your like arms and hands and legs and like your body and stuff. And there's more nerves in like the ends of your body, like your finger and your palms have way more nerve cells than like your arm, because you need your hands and feet and stuff and your like face to like feel things and interact with the world. So the mind kind of has this like weird mental image of itself where there's like big chunks of the brain that's dedicated to one side, or like to like one hand and stuff. And because of that, there's kind of like some overlap. And basically like your hands, like the same part of your brain will feel like you're something from your hand and feel something from your foot, like they're in charge of the same sensations. And so basically what happens when amputees get like their arm cut off or whatever, and they'll feel their arm because the mind kind of like rewires itself in a way. And so that part of your brain that was in charge of controlling like just your hand, but also your foot, like for example, and like, so now if you like, it's rewired itself to like it can only process information from your foot now. And it takes a while for the mind to kind of get used to this. So like sometimes when you feel something in that part of your body, you also feel it in like a place where your arm would have once been, because like your brain is like unable to process what's happening, so it feels like you have a ghost limb. It's actually pretty cool. Like there's some like weird stuff that the mind does. There's one thing that I saw a magician do on Netflix. It was Magic for Humans, and it was this experiment that this guy did, and I think it probably falls under the same like genre of science, of psychology. And he got a person like a prosthetic hand, or not a prosthetic hand, it was like a Muppet arm almost, but it was like rubber. And they show like the guy puts his arm on the table, and then they cover his arm with like a mirror so he can, and then they put his prosthetic hand on like the other side, or not, like a prosthetic hand on the other side that kind of like looks similar to his normal hand, and he can't see his normal hand, but he can see like the other arm. And after a while they start doing like sensation tests, right? And they start slowly like poking at the guy's hand and then poking at the prosthetic hand. And then after a while, what happens is that the person stops feeling sensations from their normal hand, and then they like, someone pokes like the prosthetic, and the person feels pain from that hand. And I think the reason why is because it's the same reason why you would have like phantom limb syndrome, or the same kind of similar thing, where like the mind's mental image of itself kind of adapts and changes. And so since you can't see one hand, it kind of just associates that fake hand as its own hand. And then whenever it sees like someone poking at it, it like it immediately assumes what it's supposed to like feel, so it creates pain for no reason. It's kind of the same thing with like when you're reading and like you see a misspelled word, and you kind of just like autocorrect it, because your brain likes to take shortcuts a lot of the time. So like the word's misspelled and you won't even notice, because your brain just kind of fills in the gaps. It's like, I know what this word is, so it just uses context to like fill in the blank and stuff, so you don't even notice it. And so I think it's the same kind of like science, it's actually pretty weird, the stuff that the mind does. And it really kind of gives you perspective, because your mind is like really stupid some of the time. like like some of the things, man, it's really crazy to think about, to be honest. I think psychology is probably the most important field of science. Um, the reason why is because, ultimately in the end, you're a prisoner of your own mind. You know, it, it doesn't matter how much you know or how strong you are or where you are. It's your mind is like that's the extent of what you are, is your mind. So you could be the smartest guy on the planet, but if you get a stroke, it's all gone like that, So I feel like it's very hard to put into words the fascination that I have of the mind and psychology and stuff. And in case you guys didn't already assume this by now, but I really want to be a psychologist when I grow up, particularly military psychology, but that's mostly for the benefits. My real passion is criminal psychology, just like the mind of a criminal. Um, but to be honest, I feel like it would just be better to do like the military, because those people definitely need more help, and they definitely like there's more benefits and stuff, and it's a whole different topic, and I'm probably gonna like mess up and say something wrong. So but yes, like basically the limit to like what your reality is your mind. Like that's insane, because if you think about it, there are colors that you don't know exist. Like your brain can only process like 6 main colors, right? You can only see red. You can only see like red, yellow, green, blue, purple, orange. I, uh, damn it, frick, the green. Damn it, did I? I'm blanking out. Sorry. Your mind can only really see like black, white, red, yellow, blue, red, orange, purple, green. And like the derivatives of those colors. You other than that, there are whole colors like that you can't even process exist. Where like just try thinking of a new color, like you can't. And that sort of logic, or that's just crazy. It's on top of that too. There's just so many weird things that the mind limits us, and like the things that your mind can do to you. It's essentially, we're all prisoners to our own mind. And it's getting really weird. But I like it. I like talking about my weird thoughts. Like you can't there's just it's and like if you think about it, there's really no real way for us to know if our reality is real or not. Yeah, and I'm not like talking about like conspiracy theories or whatever. I'm just saying, like, based off the knowledge that we have of our mind, it could very well be possible that everybody is just a figment of your imagination. You know, like everything could just be made up by your mind, and that's insane. Like, oh man, there's no way to know for sure, because you can only see you will only ever be able to see things from your own mind. There's only like there will never be an opportunity for you to truly know for sure. if your reality is real or not. There's no way. And it's kind of scary if you think about it, that you could very realistically be alone in a universe that you made on your own. And it sounds like some Lovecraftian stuff, like I think there is a monster that's like that, as like Azathoth or something, where he's asleep and we're all just like dreams. We're all just like Azathoth's dreams or whatever, and that's pretty cool to think about. But yeah, like it's it's because psychology opens up some weird questions if you like truly think about things. And I took a philosophy class, and they kind of, it was more psychology, to be honest, which is actually kind of cool because it made it more interesting. But they kind of explained things like they explained stuff that, like, I can't really find the word for it, but like horoscopes and things like that. Like, I think it's astrology, right? That's what they call it. But or like fortunes and things like that. Like, they explain how stuff like that is considered to be real when it probably isn't, and it's because the way like the mind works is that you're told one thing and then your mind will like start associating stuff with it. So if, like, let's say for example someone were to show you like a horror movie, and they could show you the exact same horror movie, but one time someone says that this is the scariest thing on the planet, this is like the most like terrifying, just horrific experience you will ever have. And yeah, there's clearly like a limit. Like, you're most likely not gonna pee your pants in fear just because of something that your friend told you. But you are more likely to view it in a scary way, unless it like really, and it's like, unless it's like Batman and Robin levels of ridiculousness. It's like the new Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers. But for the most part, like, your mind will associate things with one thing to kind of like make it correct. So it kind of explains why like people who get like fortunes, like, oh, something good will happen today, like, well, yeah, no, like, clearly something's good is going to happen today if you view it in that way. Like the littlest thing could technically be true with the fortune. So let's say like you open a fortune cookie and it says you will have good luck today. Then your mind will just anything will be considered good luck just because of your mind. Like, you'd be like, oh, I found a penny, so yeah, that fortune must be right. And then you're more inclined to like ignore bouts of bad luck. It's just stuff like that. It's just really weird. It's things that you don't really notice, but they affect our day-to-day lives, and it's all just because of like how your mind works. I know this is this is really weird, and I probably lost everybody talking about this, but it just kind of lie awake thinking about that. And it's just crazy because our minds have created the most complex ideas and the most just interesting things, and it's all traced back to psychology. Like, even down to what good storytelling is, or what's good food, or just any opinion, is all down to psychology, to how we evolved as a species. Like a good story, every good story has to have like a purpose, right? And that goes like all the way back to, when humans were first evolving. Well, I guess Homo sapiens, because you could call really anything a human, or any like homogeneous species a human. But yeah, so like when Homo sapiens were first starting out, stories were used to help people survive, and like tell, like warn of like, hey, don't go over there because there's like an animal that's going to kill people, and like that's what helped us survive. That's how we outcompeted everything, was because we could communicate with each other. And then it kind of built upon itself in like layers and layers, to where you were getting stories, and then those stories kind of became like religions. And then it's just like these things that, like, just were all created from one simple thing, that your mind just evolved because of natural selection. Like, the reason why we can tell stories now was because it was a desirable trait, and the people that could communicate with others could survive better, and they reproduced, and then that trait slowly became more and more prominent. And then it's like started building on itself, and we went from a simple, hey, don't go over there, there's like a lion that's gonna rip out your face, to like stories like Star Wars, and like Star Wars or The Dark Knight, things like that, just all came from one simple adaptation that your mind had. And it's crazy, like, all, if you think about it, like, it's just insane, and you could just lie awake just thinking about all the different things that your mind, is capable of. And there's really like a good takeaway, that you are capable of great things. And, deep down, everybody's the same. Everybody has the capacity to do something great with themselves, and to use their mind to like, just kind of, just create whatever you want, or do whatever you like. And of course there's always limitations, that like poverty, and like just a lack of opportunity and stuff like that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you are capable of things. I'd like to think that there's no such thing as impossible. And I mean, granted, yeah, there's like, you can say stupid shit like, well, I mean, it's impossible for us to fly, or it's impossible for, like, and hell, I even said that it's impossible for me to even know if this reality is real and it's not just a figment of my imagination. But, for the most part, everyone's capable of doing something great. And I think that everybody should accept that as like a part of their philosophy, and it sounds really cliche, really like, really like, oh, you can do anything, and like, it's such a generic thing to tell people just to make themselves feel better. But I just used science to prove that it's right. And just, I think everything just requires effort, and I hope that one day that there is no such thing as boundaries. There's no like, oh, well, I can't because I'm too poor and I can't afford to do this, or I have responsibilities, so I can't do what I truly like. And I hope that one day that stuff ends, and we improve as a society. Yeah, maybe we falter, who knows. I mean, people are, it's very wishful thinking, to be honest. I mean, a couple weeks ago, people tried canceling Genghis Khan because they figured out what he did. So Yeah, there was like a whole Twitter thing just wanting to cancel Genghis Khan. Apparently, I mean, it's just goes to show how stupid some people can be. But I, I don't know. I feel like the best word to sum up humans is potential. You know, like every person has potential to do something great, and it's insane. Some of the things that people can do. Like I remember I was watching a podcast. I think it was the Rooster Teeth podcast. This is back when Bernie was still on it, and he would talk about how it was extremely impressive how like humans can just get insanely good at tasks if they like do it long enough. And I mean, he's not wrong. Like if you look at those like crazy like world records, or like those like just insane things that people can do, like some people are capable of. Hell, there's an Olympics for people that are disabled. Like that's insane, right? Like you don't see that in other species, not to that extent. Like if a lion, or like I don't know if a dog is a good example, but like if like a lion was, just like if the lion like lost its arm or something, that lion would just die. It it just die because it can't hunt or do anything. But humans are so innately smart, and we have just this insane ability to not accept failure, where we will literally do whatever it takes to survive, or well, just succeed, I guess, in general. And and because of that, we've created insane things and been able to do insane things. And like it's just crazy, and it's all it, people will talk about how like they're shocked at how humans are the dominant species, and how it's just purely like just crazy. Like we're so stupid and innate, and just failures, right? Yet somehow we're on top. I don't think that's entirely true. I think humans earned their spot at the top, and I think it makes the most sense for us to be on top, because it's super easy to point out the like the bottom of the barrel, and the stupid people, and just the complete idiots that we share species with. Like the stupid fucking morons that like lick ice cream and think they're funny, and then uh, like it's super easy to point out those people. You're like Karens and just shaking your head, but nobody really notices that humans have done pretty impressive things as well. Like yeah, I don't see tigers going to the moon. I don't see fucking gorillas building cities and stuff like that. And like yeah, sure, if you put like a human in a cage with a monkey, the monkey's gonna kick the human's ass and like kill it, right? But you put a human like you put a human in the middle of nowhere, that human, if they're capable enough, they'll build something and they'll survive on their own if they really have to. Like there's shows where people are insane, like The Last Alaskans. Like those people live out in like this wild preserve up in Alaska. It's like the size of like South Carolina, I think. And there's only like 5 families that can do it, because it's like a wildlife preserve, so there's no like cabin permits or anything, so people can't really live there. You can go visit, of course, but you can't like build anything. You can't live there because it's a wildlife preserve. But there's like these families that were there before, so they kind of got like grandfathered in, and they're like the last remaining people that can live there, right? And there's this 19-year-old kid who built he built a fucking house like on his own with no like, well, yeah, he had tools, but like he didn't have like a crane and like a construction crew and concrete and all these like just fancy things. He just had wood and like, yeah, maybe like a couple tools because he can't like pull a Minecraft and like punch trees down with his fist, but like he built his own house, and he built it in like 2 years. And well, not really 2 years because they're only down there for like the winter, so it took them like 2 winters to do it, so I guess that'd be kind of like 6 months, I guess. And it's like that. Anybody can do that if you really put the time and effort into it and really dedicated yourself. You could theoretically do it. And it just goes to show that at the end of the day, humans are the dominant species, and I have faith in us as a society. Well, not as a society, but like as a species. I don't think humans are gonna go out anytime soon. And hell, even if everything goes to shit and like everybody dies or something like that, or well, not everybody, but like the majority of people die and there's like some apocalypse or whatever, there's always going to be one person. There will always be one mad lad that somehow lived. One just like insane guy or woman, I'm not making any assumptions, but there's always that one person, that one individual that's just somehow just capable of being alive and capable of surviving. So, maybe we should all take inspiration from that, and maybe we should all, put aside our differences and just kind of view each other as equals, because everybody is capable of doing something. Sure, it's not going to be easy. I never said it would be. It's not going to be a cakewalk to build your own house in the middle of the forest, or like survive an apocalypse, or hell, write a perfect movie. But it's possible. And at the end of the day, you don't really know till you try. And I spent a lot of time kind of self-pity and wallowing in my own depression, or not really depression, but sadness, and feeling bad for myself and giving up on things. And it's kind of therapeutic, just recording this, even as of now, is kind of cathartic for me, because as I say it out loud, it's, we don't really need any negativity. I want to start taking a more positive approach to life, and hopefully, making this, is a good step for me, and a good step for you too. Maybe like you can go ahead and do the things that you want to do after listening to me talk for like an hour. And honestly, this is really cool to do. I might start doing it every day, like at night, just every day, just hanging out with guys. Maybe if I get enough followers on Twitch, which I'll probably link in the description, to be honest, maybe I could do like live versions of this, which that would be fucking cool, like just interact with people while I'm trying to help people go to sleep and stuff. And yeah, that'd be really cool. I have a lot of plans for the future. I was writing a book. It's like the first 3 chapters are on Wattpad right now, and yeah, I'm like writing a book. I'm I'm doing this too, kind of taking steps to expand my social circle. It's just, I think, everybody talks about how 2020 is a bad year, and yeah, it's got its downs, but I think people got to stop. People have to stop thinking about the negatives, and maybe, you know, just make the best of it and look to the future for hope. And I truly believe that the saying, the what was it? Damn it. um, what was the saying? It was like the night is dark just before the dawn, or something like that. Or basically, like, everything gets really bad until it gets really good. So maybe this pandemic and this, Chadwick Boseman and George Floyd and all this horrible stuff that's happened this year, maybe we can, just not move on necessarily, because I don't think, people should move on like that, or like forget about it. No, that's not what I'm saying. But maybe people can, stop feeling bad for themselves, or stop viewing everything from a negative side, and just look to the future for hope. And, if not, that's okay too. It's whatever, I can't force you to change your mindset. I can't. And personally, I don't want to. I don't think it's my place to force anybody to do or feel anything. In fact, I think it's good that people have differing opinions on stuff, and because if everybody just followed one singular, like, mindset or whatever, there would be no uniqueness, or like, just there would be nothing special about anybody. So I think, yeah, but in my opinion, I feel like everybody should at least try to view things in a positive way. And of course, that doesn't mean don't feel sad. It's good to feel sad. It's good to feel down sometimes. I mean, it's not good, like good, but it's okay. I'm not saying be some lifeless robot that can only experience happiness. No, it's good to it's a part of our evolution to be able to feel those emotions and stuff. And I feel like, see, I feel like people should just kind of, damn, I lost my train of thought. I feel like people should just kind of have hope. Don't never give up on hope. And it sounds pretty hypocritical coming from me, because just like the other day, I was complaining about hope, and how it's basically worthless, and it just does nothing but disappoint and stuff. And it's been a pretty rough week for me. Well, everyone's had it worse, I guess. But for me, it's definitely not at the top of the of the list for best weeks. And and so I was kind of feeling bad for myself, but making this video, it's just made me feel a little bit better, and I hope it made you guys feel a little bit better too. And there's probably nobody's gonna watch this, especially since it's like an hour long. But if people do, hope you guys had a good day, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good rest of your life. I think you truly enjoy things, and never get too hung up on how things could be. It's just, man, just kind of like spitting out stuff at this point. I'm gonna kind of stop, because I don't like when people just kind of like spit out things and stuff. But it's getting late, and I kind of start saying weird stuff like late at night. I don't even remember when like half of the conversations that I was making right now. So it's just hope everybody I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I hope everybody's taking care of themselves, and maybe you guys can sleep a little better, knowing that I care about you. You know, I I care about almost everybody on this planet. Or not almost everybody. I oh damn, what did I say? What did I even say? Um, Basically, like I think deep down, you know, everybody deserves to be happy, and yes, that includes some of the less likable people on this planet. Everybody deserves happiness one way or another, and I feel like that's a philosophy everybody should have. You know. But yeah, so it's getting late for me, and I'm gonna end this thing. Hopefully, I can do another one tomorrow. Maybe I might talk about my opinions on Spider-Man, because I have some pretty deep opinions about Spider-Man, to be honest. Um, yeah, you guys just good night, and I hope y'all are sleeping well, and make sure to always eat your breakfast. But for now, that's about it. Like, subscribe, whatever. Do what you gotta do. Bye.